screen. Let's do some trading with Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. All right, Scott, so with NVIDIA powering things up, everybody wants a piece of the semiconductor group. Can we get that to extend to Marvell?
Anything is possible, Oliver, and just, for transparency's sake, we were long some Marvell going into today.
Okay.
We've cut that position in half, so we took some of that off after this NVIDIA move. But for the print here for Marvell, as you and Kevin discussed, volatility is accelerated. It is heightened, especially on the wings in the options because of that move we saw in NVIDIA. And quite frankly, I want to take advantage of that because when I look at this chart, it's kind of non-committal. There's nothing there, that tells me bullish, nothing there that really tells me bearish right now. And it's all going to be what they say about guidance. So I'm trying to take advantage of that excess volatility. And for next week, not this week's options, but for next week's options, I'm selling the 45-43 put spread. I'm also selling the 52-54 call spread. That's an iron condor. I'm going to collect $1 on that. Most this can be worth is $2 if there's a blowout move in either direction. So I'm risking $1 to make $1, looking for Marvell, quite frankly, to stay in somewhat of a zone. And my break-evens at the end of next week on this trade are 44 to the downside and 53 to the upside.
Got a nice little wide berth there for this thing. The payout ratio, what's that look like when, 44 to 53, pretty wide range of outcomes. Sometimes I feel like when I'm trying to set up a trade that gives me the highest probability, I don't make as much, but it looks like you make a decent amount here.
Well, yeah, I'm collecting $1, and what I like about this is my reward to risk is even up. It's 1-to-1. Okay. I can make $1, and at worst case, as I said, if there's a blowout move in either direction, all I can lose is $1. So I've got that range, 44 to 53 break even. I make that $1 if we're anywhere 45 to 52. And if we're outside of the bottom and the top of that range, or of the 43 strike, the 54 strike, if we're outside on either end, that's where my risk comes in, and I'm willing to take that risk because I really like the reward to risk on this because the options are so juicy.
Okay, nice. So looking for Marvell to trade within a pretty well-established range, at least to the downside, but if it does move higher, you can participate for kind of a little breakout here and collect the premium. All right, so we'll watch this afternoon, up 2.5% right now. NVIDIA holding on to its move. How much do you think that can extend to the broad market, what we're seeing in NVIDIA this morning, Scott?
I don't want to say it's a one and done because we're obviously seeing it, in the likes of an AMD. I think it's going to be tough to look at a one-off like this and say, okay, that's the telltale for the overall market. That's why I think you're seeing some softness in the market right now from where it opened up. And I honestly think the market now is looking past NVIDIA and saying, okay, we've got some inflation prints tomorrow. We've got the Fed next week. So I think that's where we're back to trading now, excluding this big run-up in NVIDIA.
Okay. All right. NASDAQ holding on to it just shy of 2%. Thanks for the Marvell trade, Scott. Appreciate it. Always helpful. All right. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, joining us from SIBO here in Chicago.